freaking boring. And you know what? That was kind of nice. Sundays were my favorite. My wife always made a chicken dinner and served it at 7 p.m. sharp. We both operated well on precise schedules, which made us an efficient match. "This chicken is lovely, Helen," I told her during last week's dinner. "I made it with rosemary this time." "You made it with rosemary and thyme?" "No, just rosemary this time." "Oh." We finished the rest of the dinner in silence. For a long while, Sunday nights marked our only scheduled sexual congress. To be honest, however, I was hoping that we could skip a particular session last month. I was suffering from a mild cold and wanted to start Monday with a reliable night's rest. My emerging struggle with erectile dysfunction only added unpleasantness to the ordeal, and neither Helen nor I seemed particularly keen on the prospect of a carnal meeting. I do want to emphasize that she was undoubtedly a handsome woman, and although the looming prospect of age 40 had etched its undeniable mark upon her face, she maintained the sturdy feminine beauty that had won me over as a lad. I did not skip the weekly fingernail clip, however. Success is built on constancy, and attention to details should never go overlooked. I realized with a pleasant sort of emptiness one day that we had followed the same sexless Sunday pattern for a month. That thought was erased as I noticed the clock read 9:57 p.m. while crawling into bed. I felt a minor victory in achieving 3 extra unplanned minutes of sleep. Surely such a boon would keep any potential future head colds at bay. I felt quite satisfied as I laid my head upon the pillow. I was asleep before Helen climbed into bed. It was when the broken window that changed everything. I leaped out of the bed in a daze, shocked to see that the clock read midnight. As consciousness reluctantly organized itself, I realized I had not been awake at this hour in years, and that I needed to put on my shoes, and that my wife was missing. I tied my shoes, but did not think to grab anything else. That allowed me to spring downstairs at full speed and find moonlight streaming through the broken window in my living room. No glass lay on the floor, but thousands of shards twinkled in the bushes outside. The front door creaked shut. My brain was still too addled to consider the danger of running towards the noise. I shot into the cool night air to find a strange man on my front lawn. The moonlight caught his toothy grin, but no joy shone through. "Harold Miller, stay right there," he announced with authority. I stood. "Where's my wife?" My heart was racing. I didn't like it. "She has come with us." "Well," I stammered, "give her back." "No." I didn't know what to do, so I remained still and awaited further instructions. "I'm gonna give you a set of instructions, and you're gonna follow them. Do you understand?" "Yes," I said numbly. I did not like what was happening, but I did understand, so my response was honest. "You're going to go back upstairs, Harold. You'll go to the bathroom, take off your shoes, and go back to sleep." I stood frozen as the hefty figure spoke with complete confidence. Nearly all of him was hidden in shadow, but the moonlight illuminated every one of his shining white teeth. Tomorrow morning, you will call the police and report your wife missing. He continued. When the police asked what happened, you will tell them that Helen went to sleep next to you, but that you woke up to discover she was missing. You will stay home from work that day, but will return on Tuesday. He nodded slowly, and it seemed painfully odd and stilted, like he was just learning the technique with a brand new neck. Your life will continue as normal, Harold, but without her in it. You'll accept that she's gone, and you'll be grateful that you have the rest of your own life. I don't want to do that, I responded lamely. He laughed. But you do, Harold. You already do. Books could be written about the experiences you will never have. It's not because you directly choose to give them up, Harold. Your life is the sum of total things you choose not to do, measured bit by bit, culminating in a waste of life no lesser in magnitude than a homicide you would claim is beyond your own comprehension. I opened my mouth to respond, but found that I had no words. Turn around, Harold, and walk back into your home. The average American life expectancy is 78 years, marginally higher here in Oregon. I realized in this moment that, given my age of 39, I was half dead. And if I don't? The man remained statue still. I swear that I could feel wisps of frozen wind reach across the gap between us. There are 4 seasons, Harold Miller, that you will do exactly as I say. The first, here he lowered a briefcase onto the sidewalk beside him, is the $250,000 that I will be leaving for your piece. Deposit the cash bi-weekly over the next 2 years. Claim that it is for consulting purposes, and no one in the IRS will raise any eyebrow. He took a step back. The second, Harold, is that I'm strong enough to inflict enough physical pain on your 191.3 pound body to subdue you. The Desert Eagle in my pocket will finish any business that my elbow does not. A chill ran down my back and into my ass crack. The third reason, Harold, he continued, still little more than a midnight shadow on my front lawn, is that you would be climbing a hopeless mountain. There are plans in motion far more significant than you can ever hope to be as a man. You have no more ability to understand it than a pig has to drive a car or a woman has to understand calculus. My head swam. His toothy smile grew wider. But the fourth and most important reason, Harold, is that you possess nothing about you that could ever hope to be used for anything significant. You will live according to the purpose you're told, and die when told you have no purpose. He turned around and walked away. I turned around because he was right. Then I turned back around because he was right. I walked over to the briefcase, as I suspected. 250 grand was heavy, but not too heavy to swing. The crack of the corner against his skull knocked something free inside me. I was terrified of how good it felt. The man crumbled to the ground. He moaned lamely as I dug through the pockets to see if he was lying about the Desert Eagle. He wasn't. Harold, he whispered, you're gonna die, Harold. I nodded to myself. You know what? You're mostly right, friend. I was already dead. And you know what a dead man has? I pressed the gun hard against his penis. Not a goddamn thing to lose. The whites of his eyes sprang to life in the moonlight. He was afraid, and it made me happy in ways that I didn't know I had potential to feel. That and a desert eagle, 250 grand, and a hostage who's almost certainly going to get his penis shot off before the night is through? He shook his head frankly. I smiled and nodded. Now listen up, I snapped while grinding the desert eagle harder against his crotch. Tell me where I can find my wife. Good evening, my ghostly minions. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's story. This story was a bit tricky. Do you think Harold's wife set him up, or was it just pure coincidence? I guess the moral of the story would be keep spontaneity in your relationships, fam, or else you can die from boredom. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, please subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon so you can receive notifications of my postings every week, and I will see you minions soon. You never know what goes bump in the night.